Good morning, students. This is Harcharan Singh, PGT English, Cambridge International School, Dasua. And I hope you all are fit, fine, and healthy at your homes and studying well. Students, there are two textbooks, Hornbill and Snapshots, and we are reading Snapshots. Students, we are reading Ranga's Marriage by Musti Venkatesha Iyengar. And the story is about one boy, Ranga. He is the only boy from his village who went to Bangalore to study in English medium. When he comes back, that was a very big event for the villagers. They wanted to know whether after studying in English medium he has changed or not. The story begins with the discussion on the title of the story. Then the narrator tells us about his village, Hosahalli, that is in the state of Mysore, and how no geographer or cartographer ever bothered to put his village's name on any map or in any geography book. He tells that his village is very important to the state of Mysore. He gives its comparison by giving examples of Kariga Dabu, that is a sweet, and then he tells about his village. There are mango trees, there are creeper, and he tells about its beauty and offers the readers if anybody would like to visit his village, they could come. Now, what we read yesterday is the narrator is telling that 10 years ago, the village was not the same. At that time, English was a very big thing for the villagers. Not many people speak English. Neither did people send their children to study to big cities to study in English medium. But the village accountant, Ranga's father, he had the courage to send his son to study in English medium in Bangalore. According to the narrator, those times were simpler. He justifies his claim by telling an incident when he was at Ramarao's house and they bought one firewood bundle from an old lady. Rama told her to come next morning as he did not have any change at that moment. The lady could not understand the meaning of the word change. It was only when he went to Ranga's house that he told him. However, 10 years ago, English was not commonly spoken in his village. And when the villagers came to know that Ranga, the son of the village accountant, he has come back from Bangalore, they all were very much excited to see him. And they all started rushing towards his house. The narrator was also attracted and fascinated by the crowd, and he also went there and asked people why they had gathered there. There was no performing monkey. What they all were doing there. There was one boy who was very immature and he asked the narrator. Narrator is an elder person, and he asked him what he was doing there. The narrator called him immature and did not answer. All the people were waiting outside Ranga's house because the place would look like the black hole of Calcutta. Calcutta means Kolkata. If they all went inside, by saying this, the narrator means that there were so many people that the house would have fallen short to accommodate them all. Thus Ranga came outside with a smile on his face. Everyone was so amazed to see that Ranga had not changed. Because he had gone to study in English medium, they were expecting he would change, but there was no change. One old lady who was very much excited, she came very close to Ranga and she started running her hand on the bare chest of Ranga. Everyone was excited to see why she was doing that. She just wanted to check whether he was still wearing the Janevara. Janevara is a sacred thread that is worn by Brahmins, and she wanted to check whether after studying in English medium he has not changed his caste. The narrator tells that when the villagers had checked, they were very much sure that Ranga had not changed after studying in English medium. They started moving to their houses, and from Ranga's house, here the narrator gives us a very good expression by telling that they all disappeared from Ranga's house just like a lump of sugar that melts in a child's mouth. The narrator kept waiting till the crowd had gone and asked him about his well being. Ranga noticed him. He noticed the narrator and replied with full respect in a traditional way. He did namaskara. Ranga had not noticed the narrator in the crowd before that moment. Here, narrator tells us about Ranga's character, that Ranga was a very well behaved and well aware as to who could befit him. He was one of those who could analyze someone's worth rightfully. For how he greeted the narrator, he bent properly and touched his feet, thereby seeking his blessings. It was not the present day namaskara where the boys of today's generation they would do it casually. That was not for the sake of formality. Ranga did it properly in a traditional manner. The narrator blessed him that he might be getting married soon and then left his house. That afternoon, Ranga went to the narrator's house with few oranges, which the narrator thought was quite thoughtful of him. Thinking of how nice Ranga is, the narrator thought that it would be a very good deed to have him married to a girl just as nice as he is. They chatted for a while, talking about here and there, and then the narrator asked Ranga about his views on getting married. Ranga expressed that he did not intend on marrying now because he intended on finding the right girl. He cites the example of an officer who got married at the age of 30 to a woman aged 25. Now, since they both are adults, quite mature and understand each other, they would understand each other's actions and behavior. Whereas, suppose the narrator finds a girl who is very young and she won't be able to understand anything. She could misunderstand his words or actions because she is not mature enough. He even mentions the love story of Shakuntala and Dushyant from Mahabharata, and that he would not have fallen in love with Shakuntala if she were too young. In that case, Kalidas' play also would not have existed. That is why he intends on saying a bachelor till he finds the right girl. When Ranga did not get ready to talk about marriage, and he gave many examples of unsuccessful marriages, at this the narrator asked him if there was any other reason that he did not want to get married. Then Ranga asked him a man should marry a girl he admires. He should not marry a girl like in arranged marriages in those days. All the girls they were very young at the time of marriage. He tells how can one admire a girl with milk stains on one side of her face and wetness on the other, or so young that she does not even know how to bite her fingers. He just wants to tell that the girls who get married at very young age, they do not understand anything. They do not understand love. They do not understand anything about marriage. Then he here tells us one proverb, that is, one a neem fruit and other a bitter gourd. The narrator was not so happy because he had thought Ranga would become a very good husband and he would give a very good service to the society after getting married. And he did not want to get married and wanted to remain a bachelor. Then they talked little about here and there, and the narrator left, and he decided that he would definitely get him married. Then the narrator tells us about one girl, Ratna. She is the new character in the story, and the narrator tells she is 11 years old and she is Rama Rao's niece. She belonged to a big city, and because her parents are no more, so she has come to live with her uncle Rama Rao. She is very intelligent and she knows how to play the veena and harmonium. She is a very good singer also, and she was living with her uncle Rama Rao. The narrator thought that Ranga and Ratna would make a perfect match. That is a very great pair, and he decided he would definitely make them get married. The narrator often goes to Ramarao's house, and that is why Ratna is very much familiar with him. She often talks to him, and one day the narrator thought that he should uh, make a plan to introduce Ratna to Ranga. He asked Ramarao to send Ratna to his place as he wanted to send some buttermilk for them. Ratna came very well dressed up. She was wearing a very big sari, and the narrator insisted upon her to sing a song while he sent someone to call Ranga, as he has already told us that Ratna was a very good singer. He requested her to sing a song for him, and in the meanwhile, he sent someone to call Ranga. Ranga arrived at the door, and Ranga, she was singing, and Ranga stopped there. He did not want to interrupt the singing. He stood at the door. He was curious to see the singer, and very cautiously he tried to have a look which disturbed the lighting in the room. And when Ratna saw Ranga's shadow, she did not know who Ranga was. He was a stranger for him. When she saw one stranger, she immediately stopped singing. Okay, students, I'm just going to conclude what we read today. Today we read when all the villagers they were very much excited to see Ranga, whether he had changed or not. They all came to his house, and even one lady wanted to check her Janevara. When the crowd was very much sure that Ranga had not changed after studying in English medium, they all went away. And when the crowd had gone out, the narrator asked Ranga, "How are you, Rangappa? Is everything well with you?" And only then Ranga noticed the narrator and he went and did a namaskara respectfully and told he was all right with the blessings of the narrator. Narrator here tells us about Ranga, that Ranga was a very well behaved and well aware. He was a very good boy, and he was one of those who could analyze someone's worth rightfully. For how he greeted the narrator, he bent his body properly and touched the feet of the narrator properly to do namaskara. He did it in a proper way, in a traditional manner. He did not do it like modern day boys who do namaskara only for the sake of formality. Ranga did not do any kind of formality, he did it properly. That afternoon, Ranga came to narrator's house with some oranges, and the narrator was thinking that Ranga was a very nice boy, and if he finds the same type of girl for him, they would become a very good, a perfect match. They were chatting for a while from here and there. Then the narrator asked Ranga about his views on getting married. Ranga told him that he did not intend on marrying because he intended on finding a right and suitable mature girl for him. He gives the example of an officer who was 30 and got married to a girl of 25. Now, they both are very much mature, they understand each other, they were living very happily. Whereas, suppose the narrator finds a girl who is very young. She could misunderstand his words or actions because she is not mature enough. He even mentions the love story of Shakuntala and Dushyant, that he would not have fallen in love with Shakuntala if she were too young. In that case, Kalidas' play also would have not existed. That is why he intends on staying a bachelor till he finds the right girl. And then Ranga gave us few more examples that in those days the girls used to get married through arranged marriages at very young age. They were too young, they could not understand what love is, and they do not know anything about marriages, about love, about emotions. He tells with the help of one proverb, that is one a neem fruit and the other a bitter gourd. Then the narrator thought that he was thinking Ranga who could become a very good husband and he would serve the society in a very good manner, and he had decided to remain a bachelor and he does not want to get married. After talking for a few moments, Ranga left, and the narrator also made up his mind that he would definitely get him married. Then the narrator tells us about one girl who is Ramarao, his neighbor, his niece. She has come from a big city. Her parents have died, and that is why she has come to live with her uncle Ramarao in the neighborhood of the narrator. She is a very beautiful girl. She is very good singer. She knows how to play veena and harmonium. And when the narrator thought about Ratna, and he thought she would be the perfect match for Ranga. The narrator tells that he often goes to Ramarao's house and the girl was very much familiar with him. She often talks to him. The narrator made a plan to introduce Ranga and Ratna. He told Ramarao to send Ratna because he wanted to give her some buttermilk for them. She came dressed up very well. She was looking very beautiful. She was wearing a grand sari. And when she came, the narrator requested her to sing a song for him. When she was singing the song, in the meanwhile, the narrator sent someone to bring Ranga to his house. When Ranga came and he came to know that somebody was singing, He liked the voice very much and he did not want to interrupt the singing. He stood at the door and cautiously, when he tried to look inside who the singer was, Ratna saw his shadow and she stopped singing. And in this way, Ranga did not feel good when Ratna stopped singing. Thank you.